So things went a little downhill for you in your career.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I mean, we had that. Then I got married, got divorced, got remarried in 05 to my high school. Actually, we went to high school together. Had a baby girl. It was great. She's now 17. Then we had my son in 2008. 3 months later, he passed away. So that added a lot of.
Was it a crib death or?
No, he's actually had SMA, spinal muscular atrophy.
Oh.
He was fine in utero. We went to a 1 month well visit. Mom had concerns, brought it to the doctor's attention. We're right in Hackensack. From Hackensack, we go to CHOP. We spent the summer there, brought him home. August of 08, he passed away.
This is gonna hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast.
And I feel, listen, what happened to me can happen to anybody at any time, in any situation. Did I go a little overboard? 100%. Do I regret it? 100%. We'll get into that later on. But it's scary. The way how the media has twisted it and made. I'm sorry, I got to say us because I still feel I am one. I know I'm not. I'm not supposed to say that. As what's the word I'm looking for? Like outside, like, oh, you're not one. Yeah. You know, which is fine. You know, and then people got their opinion. That's fine. I know I wake up every day and I can put my head down comfortably, and I can take criticism.
But we dealt with that in here, not when we were still in audio, with Mike Dowd. So Mike Dowd, dirtiest cop in New York City's history. You know, Mike and I, we were hesitant to bring him in, but again, just it's your shot to say what you believe. And but we do know Mike is still very involved in the police world, just not in the manner that he used to be, which was selling drugs.
Well, that's a different story.
He snuck into One Police Plaza. So
Yeah,
he's still involved.
I mean, if you're out there selling drugs, then that's...
Yeah, and there was a problem that one of the people he was selling drugs to and giving a little bit of information, the cop got shot by him. There's a lot more into it, but even Mike has a chance for redemption, because that's what I believe. Everybody has a shot to make themselves right.
Yep.
You know, it's funny too because people come to me and say, "Oh, my, you know, you're in law enforcement. My son wants to be a cop. Do you have any advice for him? Become a fireman."
Yeah,
I would never squash someone's dreams of becoming a cop because that was my lifelong dream. I would never squash that, but it's not the time to get in it anymore.
Once you got that job, was it everything that you expected?
Oh, I was on top of the world. I loved it. Like I said, I was working with the great guy. He did narcotics. He did undercover. It was awesome. It was great. He was from the old regime, so I was actually being taught street policing the way it was. We would ride. We would do rips. We would do stops. We would frisk people. We'd make arrests on top of arrests. It was awesome. We had pursuits. Great job. It was just awesome. It was just a thrill. Like, oh, this is great. This is great. Oh, my God, this is great. And then I got moved to afternoons.
Yeah. See, I liked afternoons.
Midnights, it was all right. It was okay.
Midnights are you're never normal.
I loved midnights.
I loved midnights.
I loved it. You understand? We worked a 4-and-4 schedule.
Oh God, forget it. Forget it.
You had a vacation every week.
The 10 1/4.
Exactly.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You can't go wrong with that.
No.
So I go to afternoons, and I think it was like my first 8-9 months on. And I'm with the guy I went for the academy with. We go to a DV call in the basement. It's dark, smaller than this. Oh, you and as we pull away, you see the holes through the door. What the fuck?
You can say what it. No,
whatever you want.
Let it fly.
Like, what the fuck? So now we had those old radios, the big ones. The battery's dead. Nothing's going.
Like you're calling from a hot landing zone.
Yeah. There's no transmission going. We're trying to kick the door, and come to find there's a garage inside. A kid runs around out the other way, hides the. Come to find it was an air pistol, air rifle. But still, we don't know. We're brand new. We have no idea. We're at corrections. It was easy.
It could break the skin and cause a very nasty infection.
Exactly. Yes. But when you're new, you don't know.
Isn't that the Clark Griswold line? This could break the skin and cause a very nasty infection.
So we get in there and we find out the gun's on top of the drop ceiling, this and that. We come to find out, lock the kid up. The father and son had an issue. He was a teenager, so it didn't go too far. But that was the first, kind of like a, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah, when you get to
welcome to law enforcement.
Exactly. You know how we dealt with that? We went to the bar and hung out and drank.
Yeah. When you get that first call, and it's a hairy call.
Yeah.
Like I can tell you, it was a guy. He was actually reaching for his cell phone, but we couldn't see him because he was in a car, and it was in a garage, that garage that he was not supposed to be in. And I remember getting out of that call, going, "Whoa, that was close."
Yeah, oh sure.
But see, you don't think about. Everybody says, like, when you went to that situation, weren't you scared? You don't have time to be scared. You react. You react, and then you go back to your car and you sit there and you go, "Holy fuck! What just happened?" You don't have time to be scared.
100%. Now let's go a year after that. Back in the day, Bayonne had a couple of biker gangs, 1%ers, down on the east side. There's a fight. This and I come to find out, it was Saint and Soldiers shoots one of the guys. As we're pulling up there, the guy's on the ground, shot, dead. We go right into the house. Not even a care in the world. The whole 10 of us, I think, was just bum rushed the fucking place.
There's obviously a gun in there.
There's guns. Yeah. They got hidden and thrown away, but still, they could have killed everybody.
So your career moves on, and did you get a chance to do any type of special details there?
Throughout my career, yes.
Yeah.
I was in plain clothes. I worked for the motorcycle squad also throughout the years. It was nice. And I did ABC.
I always wanted to wear the boots.
I'll tell you, that's a great feeling.
And a crushed hat.
Oh, yeah. It's a great feeling. Oh. The escorts, the escorts on the funeral side were very depressing. It's horrible.
I always say those line of death duty funerals are the worst experience you could ever have. It's the only way I could. It is a great experience. Yep. But it sucks.
Never went to one. I couldn't deal with it mentally because I had gotten as far as where they used to have they used to have a lot of them down in Newark and stuff like that, and I got as far as going to the front door. Never walked in.
Sacred Heart Basilica.
Yeah. Never ever walked in.
The Blue Mass every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not my thing. But we policed in an era where we started one way and it became something else because but we're all after the Rodney King. So we knew the cameras were out there.
That was put away and gone.
Right. There was like 8 years between. Right. What was Rodney King? 92, something like that. And then the trial was 96. So people, as a retired police officer, people will ask me still about excessive force. Have you ever tuned anybody up? And I always bring up Rodney King because if you ever watch the whole video of Rodney King, this guy's driving 90 miles an hour through residential streets. He's big. He's 6'7". He's high as a kite on PCP, and they get him. And the cops have got adrenaline flowing. They're asking him to comply. He will not comply, so they're whacking him. Now, that being said, did they take a couple extra whacks? 100%. 100%.
Because like you said, your adrenaline's flowing.
Your adrenaline's flowing, and you just got put in a life and death situation because of this guy's carelessness. So, yes, they did take some extra whacks, but the guy still wasn't compliant.
Well, he was also under the influence on top of it.
Correct.
Help.
Which I believe he was on PCP.
PCP, yeah.
So it's not as far fetched. I've heard Monday morning quarterbacks come in and say, this is bad. You should never do that to somebody until you're put into that situation. That's the part. That's the part. And then they bring up, of course, George Floyd and stuff like this. I don't even want to get into that.
You can't get into George Floyd. It's completely different.
Because that's amateur hour.
Right. Yeah.
That to me. Yeah. To me.
Yeah.
But he's since passed, so I can say his name, Nicky Frezzalone. I was taught by him in the academy, Nicky the Bear.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so
he was in my Essex County.
He was a staple at the county. Yeah. So Nicky was a martial artist.
Yep.
And Nicky knew he would teach you when you do unarmed self-defense ways to give. He used to call it bonus shots, and he used to do a bonus shot, bang, and he would always do that. Right. But they're shots that if somebody is being non-compliant, they will hurt. You will hurt them. You won't kill them. You won't cause any permanent damage, but they'll know you mean business. Right. And you can do it right in front of a camera. So that's a tool that we use where we would take it out when needed. Mm-hmm. Right. So things went a little downhill for you in your career.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I mean, we had that. Then I got married, got divorced, got remarried in 2005 to my high school. Actually, we went to high school together. Had a baby girl. It was great. She's now 17. Then we had my son in 2008. 3 months later, he passed away. So that added a lot of.
Was it a crib death or?
No, he's actually had SMA, spinal muscular atrophy.
Oh.
He was fine in utero. We went to a 1 month well visit. Mom had concerns, brought it to the doctor's attention. We're right in Hackensack. From Hackensack, we go to CHOP. We spent the summer there, brought him home. August of 08, he passed away. Tried again. Just constant. It was just. That was really just the downfall. The drinking started.
It's just the building.
It's building up.
Building up.
It's constantly building. And
it's building up.
Before that, I'm helping taking care of my parents. My mother had a stroke. She couldn't talk or walk. My father refused to put her in a nursing home because he was old school Italian. He wasn't going to do it. So we had to deal with that. Then my father got sick. So then my son passed away. So my mother's still alive. I'm saying, why the fuck is she still alive? I love my mother, but why is she still alive and he's 3 months old and he's dead?
3-month-old dies.
She can't talk or walk. What's going on here? 2010, she passed away. So we had a little break between 2011 and 2012. It was great. We go to Disney. My father, he's here from Italy, I don't know, 40-somewhat years, 50 years. We go to Disney, sees Mickey Mouse. We're having great. I think that was the Hurricane 12.
Yeah, Sandy.
I was working plain clothes. 2013, I had to do the 1 week of uniform between Christmas and New Year's. I had 2 days left. Out of those 2 days of the year, shit hit the fan. Literally, shit hit the fan.
So, now I used to go to the bar just like you.
December 27th, to be exact.
I used to go to the bar just like you. Now I don't drink anymore. I prefer going to like a little bit calmer of a place.
Yeah.
And we just picked up a sponsor, and it's Cubita Cafe in Nutley.
Okay.
It's 234 Franklin Avenue.
Right, exactly. Those are nice places because it's good food. It's top level chef there. It's just a place where we can sit down and relax and calm down.
It's more of a restaurant than a bar because you could just go sit there and eat and.
It was just having a cup of coffee and having a nice empanada. Because cops, we're knuckleheads. Sure. We try to hide all of our problems in bottles.
Oh my God, yes.
So and losing a son. We're all parents in here. Losing a son, I think, is probably one of the worst things ever.
Yes, and prior to that 2013 incident, in 2012, I believe it was a murder-suicide. We get a call. We all shoot down there. He's retired. I'm not going to mention his name, but he comes walking out. Real quick. Boyfriend sucks a bottle of vodka down, parks a car up the block, goes to the house, shoots the girlfriend, the boyfriend. The boyfriend has his kid in his arms, shoots him, shoots the sister. His 2 kids, thankfully, are alive, went downstairs to the basement, hiding under the bed, and takes his life in the furnace, in the boiler room. First cop on scene picks the baby up. We throw him in the ambulance. We shoot over to Bayonne Medical Center. Me and 2 other guys were the next of kin for this baby. Shot in the head. That sucked. So that brought up all the feelings of my son.
Yeah, I was going to say, because now you put your son's face on that baby's face.
Did they offer you any debriefing?
They did. They had debriefing. Yeah, but you know how we are. We don't do that.
You don't want to.
We don't have time for that shit.
You don't want to admit any kind of.
We're fine. Yeah. We all were fine.
Absolutely.
We sit in the bar. We throw our head back, and we're having a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, you numb it, and
right.
There's lots of different ways cops do that with unhealthy behavior. Some will get their girlfriends, or some will drink it away. And
correct. Absolutely, I agree with you. Yeah.
But so this brings us to 2013 because it sounds like you're building up.
It's constant buildup. Now, mind you, I'm drinking every day. Yeah. My days off, I'm throwing it back. I'm having a party. Woo-hoo.
I think it's something with Bayonne.
Could be.
You know the saying, if it's 14-8, stay away, right?
I gotta call Smitty. So tell us about the incident that really went downhill.
So we're in lineup, afternoon shift, and we have to do a warrant arrest out of Somerset County. I'm the dick. Why the fuck we enforce the Somerset County's arrest? Why they come here and do it themselves? Never had any interaction with the kid whatsoever. Young kid, is a great basketball player. Awesome. Never dealt with him in my life. The other guys did. Oh yeah, he's a fighter. Okay, fine. We go to the house. He starts a fight at the door. We push the door in. We go inside the house. There's a big fight inside the house. We end up handcuffing him. We're bringing him out. He's walking out the door. He throws his feet up in the door jamb. Go down the stairs. We're in the corner. Now we're in the corner of the building between a bar and the house.
He fell down the stairs.
No, actually, he did not. Believe it or not, he didn't fall.
Head first.
Yeah, I wish. So we pick him up from there as we're walking around down the block into the police car. I guess I snapped, lost it. He said something. I just cracked him in the head with a flashlight. He
was handcuffed when you hit him?
Yes, he was, yes.
Yeah. How bad was the injury, or was it just a knock in the head?
I think he had, I don't know how many stitches. I really don't remember right now what he got. He got stitches, though. He got a nice little knocker.
Those old D battery mag lights?
That's exactly what it was. It's
like
funny.
Three or four batteries in the thing.
Exactly, yeah, it's a big man.
You know what they were the best for? You catch two people screwing in a car. You tap them on the window, because it makes a very distinct sound when you tap that on a window and you watch them try to struggle to pull their pants up.
There is no other distinct sound than a flashlight on a car window.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's after you did it, was there any type of remorse going, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah, well, there was 5 of us there.
Yeah.
So.
Were you the only one that gave him a whack?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there was a fight. There was other thing that took place, but yeah, I was the one that actually. And I'll tell you something. It was a hole in a wall bar. If you saw the video surveillance, looked like it was standing right here, just like this. Awesome, crystal clear.
Did not work in your favor.
Of course, when you're doing something wrong, there's always good video of it.
I'm like, what the fuck?
When you think nobody's watching, there's always somebody watching.
So like I said, there was 5 of us. Like we're kind of like this and that, and then everyone just scattered. I was placed on light duty for a year.
Well, did any one of the other 5 guys try to intervene in any way?
No.
Or say like, what did you do?
We just hit him. We kept going, put him in the car, and then left. That was it.
It was like normal procedure.
And what was the kid's reaction?
He just kept quiet.
He took it?
He kept quiet. He didn't really say much.
He's a trooper.
Oh, yeah, he was strong. Well, he was also on under the influence of alcohol, marijuana, PT, all that stuff like that.
No kidding.
That's what the lab reports came back. Yeah.
So he didn't even feel it.
Probably not.
So you were placed on light duty because did he immediately file a complaint?
Well, the parents did, yes.
Parents did.
I think the mother, I don't remember. They came down immediately and like, okay, fine. It was the New Year's. We came back after New Year. There was a little investigation. They pulled the tape. It's like, all right, let's everyone on light duty. Everyone that you were here, you're there. Okay, fine, no problem. So all of 14, I'm sitting at the desk. No gun, no uniform, regular clothes. I'm like, all right, here we go.
You're still getting paid at this time.
Still getting paid.
Okay.
Yep.
You know, I had that punishment detail, not because of excessive force or anything, because I actually, I'll tell you why, because I said, you got to be fucking kidding me. After a murder scene, I wasn't wearing my hat, and they told me to put my hat on. I go, you got to be fucking kidding me. And then I went and put my hat on. So I was put on the desk for 9 months. Okay, and everybody would come in and say, oh, you're the highest paid dispatcher in the state. They're right, but it didn't make it any better. No. It was humiliating.
Yep.
Sure it is. Everyone looks at you weird.
Right.
And that's what was going on.
You become that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Why is he on the desk? Mm-hmm.
You know, and then we had the clicks, and then no need to go down that road, but like, you know, little by little, you actually saw the detachment, the divide.
They're trying to separate themselves from you.
Absolutely. And do I blame them? No. Now, I don't blame them at all.
I'm going to say people treated, your friends treated differently at that point.
Well, you got to think. I'm sitting at the home plate. My friend line was like sitting in a baseball field. It's wide. It's huge. To where it narrowed down to nothing.
Just you and the pitcher at that point.
Then all of a sudden,
Exactly.
Then all of a sudden, you're down.
So now,
did anybody else get charged from this incident?
Well,
besides you,
I'll let you know what's going on. What happens is that 14 goes by. It comes January 2015. Then you hear this little scuttlebutt going around this, and who's getting interviewed. You know, so now the case is now out of state, is in federal. January 25th, I believe it was. I dropped my father off at the hospital for he used to get blood infusion. Dropped my daughter off at school. I come home. I walk back out of my house, 7 cars. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, hey, whoa. I said, relax. I said, I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. Agent's really nice. I get locked up. They call my wife. They take me to Newark. Get processed.
They cuffed you and everything else?
Yeah, cuffed me. Yeah.
Did they hit you in the head with a flashlight?
No.
While all this is going on,